It's being hailed by some as a historic step towards holding North Korea's government to account. The UN Security Council has added North Korea to its agenda, marking the first time the country's dismal human rights record has been discussed by the world body. The U.S. estimates that up to 120,000 political prisoners may be held in the secretive state's prison camps. But China, which has said that the UN Security Council is not the place to discuss human rights, will almost certainly veto any punitive measures against North Korea. Kristen Saloomey is following developments for us there at the United Nations. Kristen, please tell us more about this meeting by the UN Security Council and its significance.
Well, Shax, North Korea has long been on the agenda of the Security Council for its nuclear program. That specifically dealt with the issue of non-proliferation. As you mentioned, this is the first time that North Korea as a country is being named in the Security Council over its human rights abuses that the UN says in many instances amount to crimes against humanity. And we heard a litany of terrible accusations in the Security Council today, from mass starvation as a result of the government's policies to torture and more. The Chinese, as you mentioned, did object to having this meeting, saying it was not the place for the Security Council to discuss human rights abuses. That's not the Security Council's purview, and that it would be counterproductive. But many on the Council, including the UN itself, argued that North Korea had to be held to account for these abuses. Here's what the Assistant Secretary General for Human Rights had to say.
Victims of extermination, of murder, enslavement, and torture, of rape, forced abortions, and other sexual violence. Victims of persecution of political, religious, racial, and gender grounds. People who have been forcibly transferred, whose loved ones have been abducted or disappeared without trace. People who have been deliberately starved for long periods. According to the Human Rights Council's commissions of inquiry, these crimes have been perpetrated in the DPRK.
And it was that commission of inquiry which led to this unprecedented meeting. The commission found that the abuses in North Korea were on par with those committed by Nazi Germany and unparalleled in the modern world.
Kristen, strong words there at the UN, but will the Security Council take any action?
Well, as we heard, China is against going forward with any action in the Security Council against North Korea. The General Assembly, in passing a resolution, had asked the Security Council to actually refer North Korea to the International Criminal Court or impose sanctions. Because of China's veto power, we don't expect that to happen. But the situation in North Korea is now a permanent part of the Security Council's agenda. It can be brought back up at any time as a result of this meeting here today.
Kristen, thank you very much. Kristen Saloomey there at the UN for us.